Isn't this the rosarian's paradise? I think it is. My roses are opening their blooms. So today we are walking around the garden and see what's blooming. And by the way, 3 roses was the first one to open the blooms. Generous gardener was quick to come into its full force. In the front of my house I have Desdemona and Queen of Sweden, and here Generous gardener and Olivia Austin rose were first one to open the blooms. All the other roses, some of them are quite quiet. So let's walk around and I will show you what's blooming. Just look at this beautiful thing. I love my Generous gardener. It has a very good sophisticated smell, and this year, oh, it's such a good year for roses. Look how many blooms I'm going to get. Last year, Generous gardener didn't bloom very well. But this year, this is just the beginning of the show. There are so many open buds and buds which are not opened yet. And there was a question from one of the viewers. He was asking, what do I do in spring with all the lateral shoots? Okay, so let me explain to you. This is the main stem, which is 2 years old, right? It's very green. And this year it created lateral shoots. And look how nicely it is displayed here, right? So what I will do with these lateral shoots next spring, I will just trim them here to 4 to 6 buds, and we'll take the leaves away, and there would be just little stumps in the middle of spring. But then next year, look what happens to these lateral buds. I trimmed them, right? They bloomed, and look, next year they will create several shoots coming out from these buds. And my Generous gardener will be so much bushier. So this cane here is darker, it's probably 3 years old. Lateral stems are bushier. And next spring, what I will do, I will just trim again these stems right here, and they will create extra bushy growth. And then next year this stem would be probably too old, and I will take it all the way to the bottom, cut it out, and then rose will not need to support this old stem, but will create new stems from the bottom. Okay, so this is the answer. I hope I was clear about the answer. Now let's go and look at our Lady of Shalott. Lady of Shalott started blooming, and unfortunately in the morning we had rain. And rain wasn't strong, but it was like probably 2 hours. And Lady of Shalott is not really good with rain. Look at this flower. It bloomed 2 days ago, and because of the rain it looks like spent already. But don't worry, Lady of Shalott has many buds to bloom with. So this is just the beginning. I will take these roses out, I will trim them out, and we will have, in a day, we will have again a big strong flush of blooms. This is just the beginning. Lady of Shalott is strong growing here. And I'm very happy how my boxwoods are growing around here, you know. The only thing, there are 2 bushes here, and one is giving me dead stems on a regular basis. It's getting skinnier and skinnier. That bush is taking over, and the tendency is progressing. Look at these boxwoods. They're doing well, right? Next year they're going to maybe not. Maybe they will reach each other. I'm not sure. We will see. But now we have some sort of a formation of a hedge here, which I wanted to achieve. Now when you look at the back of my garden, 2 things are happening here. The show belongs to Beauty Bush. And during the year, Beauty Bush doesn't look like anything. Its foliage is kind of quiet, but now I can't really reach it. But now look at this display. Oh, look at this, beautiful. The flowers are starting to fall already. And by the way, here is the video how, well, it's not really my bush, it's my neighbor's bush. But here's the video how to grow it, the beauty bush. We share the beauty with our neighbors, right? So during spring, I wait for this performance every year faithfully in May. And then beauty bush quietly goes into its, foliage stage, which is not really anything presentable. And then we have clematis coming in and roses. And I think that mature garden is like a place of old friends, where one is showing up for dinner after another, In the middle of May, I know that beauty bush will bloom, and then clematis, and then on and on, the show goes on. So there is a lot to be said about mature garden, about good old bones in the garden. And I do encourage you to think ahead and to invest into building that maturity, not just buy annuals year after year and not to plan, let's say, 10 years ahead. Because when garden is mature and you have these gorgeous, beautiful, tall plants which are here year after year, again, they're good old friends and you look forward to their blooms every year. My arch is so quiet. Look at this. Nothing is blooming here. We have 2 new dawns here. I must say that I consider them kind of quiet here and small here. They're not blooming yet. So let's see, maybe I will be pleasantly surprised. But new dawn got already black spot here. You know what, this area is not 100% sun and roses love sun. But at the same time, look at my Parfuma rose. Healthy as anything. And it has beautiful fat buds, ready to start blooming, not yet. So this area is kind of quiet around here, which is fine. Now let's go to the front of the house where we have several roses already blooming. One, Queen of Sweden, in the front of the windows. And by the way, the generous gardener has beautiful scent. You know what else matches, which rose matches the scent of generous gardener? This Demoda in the front. It's a beautiful white, gentle rose, and the scent of it is so good. There are too many bleeding hearts here. It looks like a Wild West. I have to come in and trim here. But what I wanted to show you here, this is Desdemona rose. Started blooming, one of the first ones, stood to the rain, by the way, and the smell of it is very good. I'm not good with describing smells, but it's a very sophisticated and elegant scent. Nice rose, standing on its own among all the bleeding hearts. Okay, this is next. And here we have another generous gardener. Look at this nice shoot it produced already. Very nice, with aphids on top here. I will get them out. And on this side we have Roald Dahl, and the combination of apricot blooms and the bluish purple of Nepeta is gorgeous here. Unfortunately, this area here gets only morning sun, and Roald Dahl does not like it. I have a very good sign here. Look at this new shoot being pushed out. It means the shrub is happy, pushing new growth. But it's not really happening a lot here, and this Roald Dahl is already, there are several bushes here. It's already several years old and staying puny. So that's a main lesson for the beginner rosarians. You cannot persuade your garden to behave the way you want. Roses need sun, and they're not going to flourish without sun. So eventually I'm facing the possibility of moving all the Roald Dahl into the back of my garden. And where will I find the space? I don't know. This is the happy conundrum of every gardener, I think. All right, so what do we have in front of our house? A lot of things are happening here. First of all, peonies. Look at them. What a lovely deep color, right? They're all still wet from the rain. Oh, plenty of ants inside. Yeah, plenty of ants inside, and this one didn't open well. Or maybe it's old and it got damaged by the rain. So these are my peonies in the front. And then when you look under my windows, you will see the Queen of Sweden. And another rose is Eden Rose. Let's go and check them out. I consider Eden rose to be a special rose, and I planted it here 2 years ago. And look, the idea was for Eden rose to greet us every time we come in and out of the house. Look at this special flower. Eden rose is famous for having very fat buds and very full flowers. Look how precious and special this rose is. The future of this rose is not big here because we have partial shade coming in, so eventually I will move it. But just look at these beautiful flowers. Maybe it will climb a little bit higher here. Well, we will see. Beautiful. And we have the Queen of Sweden. Very sky-facing rose, right? Let me see. One is bent. And these roses, some of them are already spent. I have to trim them. And they are facing the top. Very sturdy in the rain. You see, we had rain and they didn't bend. Oh, they're full of water. Didn't lose its leaves. So these can be good roses for the vase. Unfortunately, Lady of Shalott would not be. So, roses are blooming in the front, under the window. Hydrangeas, very good season for hydrangeas. We are going to have tons of blooms. This hydrangea is feeling quite happy here. Maybe a little bit too happy. Not sharing the territory with roses. Oh, I didn't take this old blooms from last year. One more thing I want to show you. I want to show you sage and nepeta. This is the time for blue blooms in my garden. Look at this sage. It's getting so top heavy. Oh, there are pollinators here. I might be stung here. No, there are not many right now. Look at this color. Isn't this gorgeous? It became so heavy after the rain that it flopped a little bit. And it's taking a lot of territory here, this sage. I just love this color in the garden. So together with nepeta, and there are a lot of bees here, this is the colorful edge. Oh, a weed. How did you get here? All right, I will take care of it. So sage is very special. It's not going to last a long time. That's why I wanted to show you how beautiful it is. And maybe our Adelaide-Diolines on the side, maybe it created some blooms. Let's come and see. Oh, it did not. It is almost ready to open its buds. They're looking pink inside. Very interesting. There are many buds, so this is going to be the first display, but it's still quiet here. And my peonies here, they blossomed and they flop. I never support them here, kind of. I probably will take them into the house and they will delight us in the vase, in the house here. So this area is kind of quiet. I washed all my hostas, so they're all nice and clean here, and I guess this area would be very green, while Adelaide-Diolines will produce some blooms. Let us see what blooms. They don't have a scent yet. All right, so that's it. Something is blooming, something is not. I will keep you posted on future blooms. Have a lovely garden day, and I will see you next time. Happy gardening.